Hello! I'd like to go back to Gilfolk's Drop. We're in the Cave of Fire, trying to find ourselves a means of entering the frozen place. Because as we all know, when you're dealing with the water people in Zelda, they've got to be frozen over. They can't be like something else, like overgrown with algae or something. No, no, no! That takes way too long. Oh yeah, I forgot you need the ice spell for some reason. I hate that. Like, for one you need a spell, for two you don't even have it. You can spread fire far. You can spread fire. This is actually pretty clever. As I've talked about in my Dark Messiah playthrough, I really love this! It's cool! It's neat! A little bit of environmental interaction. It's cool, it's good, it's not bad. Doesn't hurt anyone, and it probably doesn't take a lot of effort to. Like, once you got the collisions, I have an engine, and my teacher says it's good, but I still can't do collision for anything. And I've already said this before, I think, but I'm going to keep it a running gag that I cannot make a collision engine, because I have no idea where to start. There's two chests here, just a really close proximity, and they only seem to give me arrows for no reason, other than like, oh, there's an arrow thing there. Yeah, but you really give me this many arrows for that? Oh, I know what I want you to do. Do I want you to blow that up? You've been here for like 15 seconds and we're already going all over the place. Hey. What's up, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa! The hell is he going to? Oh, whatever. Oh. Dude, this guy's got problems. Well, fine then, don't help me. Be a jerk. Finish Grimrock. That final boss is exactly what it needs to be. I don't like all the enemies, though. I don't think Grimrock works very well with, like, respawning enemies like that. Especially infinitely respawning. Wow, this is, really the place where I'd want to be surprised with a useless item. People wouldn't invent stuff if there wasn't a need for invention. What's in here? It's a shiny thing. I've got sticky fingers, apparently. I know what I'm gonna do for Grimrock. I don't want to do a mage. Mages are freaking boring. They're good, but they're so slow, but they're so good! They're the worst class. If I could put my mage in the front line and give him a melee weapon or something, I'd be fine with it, but there's one reach weapon in the entire game. Man, I'm just upset now. I don't know what I would do for Grimrock. I wanted to ask, like, the community, but there is no community, so I can't ask anyone. You know? Probably gonna do a throwing rogue this time, because I did missile weapons and night and air wizard, but air is so good against the final boss. No, it never hurts to push a button. And now I know why I had to go down here. Kinda tired. I just get tired when I start playing. It's like the fact that my mind has to turn on at all is like, ugh, I don't want to wake up today. Why are we video games? Come on, we could be doing something that isn't video games right now. You know, if you were a good game designer, you wouldn't need to kill me. I would like to iterate that suicide pits are not good game design. And you don't need Aaron Hansen to tell you that one. Like, why is this pit even here if all of this is kill me? Like, pitfalls are fine in platformers when, like, oh, the pit is an actual obstacle. But if the pit is something you can accidentally just stumble into because, you know, you didn't even know it was there, it just feels unfair, and it rubs people the wrong way. Like an unfresh banana. Like a green banana. Everyone's like, bananas should be yellow. No, they should be green. You're just a frickin' asshole who thinks he knows better. Also, what's with the spikes that stay down just long enough for you to cross one of them? Also, what the hell did they get this traction from all of a sudden? It feels a lot more stiff right now. Probably because I'm so used to dashing everywhere that, you know. Just look at that. I can't... Don't do that! That's not fun! That makes people annoyed because it slows down the game for no reason. Like, what is this puzzle? Is this a puzzle? Is this supposed to be a challenge? All I have to do is stop every few blocks. And if I get hurt, it's because your control's unprecise. You know, it's more an elaboration of what you did wrong than an elaboration of what my skills are. Why is that... That hitbox is big. That has not been tested. If you want me to point out all the problems your game has, you should probably know that basic testing usually involves going back through doors you just went through. I do like the use of a doorway like that. Oh man, I'm just really salty right now. I'm sorry. Good, now I can light everything on fire. Time to be a pyromaniac. I think I got almost all the achievements except for that I don't even know the guy's name anymore. Except for that guy with the notes. Why is that a door? Because the chance for Mick you'll run into it? And why not make it, you know... Oh, I'm out of here. Mostly salty. The out of here part is not really required to fully understand the situation I'm currently in. I don't know why I'm so confused about my controls, though. I'm constantly pressing A, the B button. Like, this is the only game I think I'm playing right now that I'm using the controls for. The controller that I have. The worst part is that there's no fire-resistant shield. And that just kind of rubs me the wrong way, you know? Like, you should be able to deflect a fire with your, thingamajig. Okay, give me a heart. Why would you give me that? How would you give me health that I can find in random stuff, you know? It's like the boot item. It's just like I could just smash open a box and I'd get this. Anyway, now we have a spell that does a thing. Now this thing being here, this little staircase, let's go up here. That would be significant, but we don't have the Trencher's boot yet, so why would we have this shortcut back that isn't usable? Why not just make the shortcut usable by anyone, you know? Like how this block apparently doesn't go anywhere. Like I'm not getting any mana, which I will be needing a lot of soon enough. I'm not kidding. I need a lot of mana soon. It's kind of the part where mana farming starts being a thing, and it just doesn't... It rubs me the wrong way. Did they need to do that, you know? It's kind of like you could have just, you know, made it happen once. Limit usage, you know? Like, a game shouldn't be busy work when there's non-busy work going on. That sometimes happens, and sometimes it doesn't. The game is very obtuse about that, because it's not the way you're supposed to defeat them. Is this guy supposed to be a threat? Because he hits that wall no matter what. Or not. I guess. I don't know what Tweedledum is aiming for, but... should probably try harder. I thought the fire cave was, like, longer, but... It might be the fact that I spent way more time than I ever want to admit to. Like, the fire makes it a really tough place for what it's worth. You know, the thing that irks me about this game is that they clearly wanted to have, like, expansions, because they have the whole thing with the arrow and the mana decrease, but those systems don't work if they're related to levels like this. Like, level ups feel very tacked on. Like, someone took a big fat stapler and then took the design document and said, okay, we're just going to put in this stuff. And I like level ups. I like increasing stuff. But the upgrades never feel as if there's something I really care about, you know? I'm feeling very platonic about them. Very meh. It makes me sound like an asshole, and I don't like being an asshole, you know? Also, the fact that this is all water, and you have to... Man, I'm so salty right now. That game made me so salty so fast. So yeah, the fire box causes weird vibrations. It causes spooky vibes. I'm picking my nose. Don't stop me now! So remember when I said you could walk on the gate? Yeah, it's a pretty... They apply it. They actually decided to use something. And this is the kind of stuff that makes me think that this game has probably the weirdest possible development cycle, because it does things like this. And then it also does other things like stuff I've already talked about, you know? It's kind of odd to have that mixture of here's something stupid and here's something alright. It's not where you're supposed to push the block, but it doesn't ruin everything. This is a problem, because it constantly having to go back every time you push something down. Not good. Just kind of boring. Yeah, you can walk over those gates. I don't know why they did that. Nobody asked them to. I don't even need the trencher boots to get over there. Not that I'm that close to a health thing anyway, so... Like, when you push these buttons, why, like, there has to be a bit of code that says zoom in on the gate. But why can't you put that outside of the point that says verify if enough buttons have been pressed, you know? If you're a completionist, the next room is going to make you freak out. Because I think we only have to melt one thing. Which is the lever. I like how the lever works, even though it's just protruding out. That's an expedient way to handle things. Anyway, we're inside the palace. It's always a palace. It's never like a castle or an empire building or something. Did she just change the whole shape thing? If you're wondering, a lot of places don't tend to end up too well. Oh, wow, I like how he just sort of vanished. I like how there's a book here, but they put the message on the big thing. Unfortunately for us, we don't have what it takes to get past this, because we don't have the Trencher's Boots yet. Trencher's Boot, for an inexplicable reason, requires stamina to function, which is something I don't get because it serves no practical purpose. Making them use stamina is just an arbitrary limitation, if anything. Also, practically everything here will cough up mana potions for you, because, you know, they were clever enough to realize that that wouldn't be a fun part of the game. These things take a whole potion, which means they require 50%. Considering I already have the decrease, that's just getting spooky. This is a shell there, by the way. I don't know what that shell's about. Just kind of lounging. Also, For a frozen palace, it looks very icily decorated. Like, it might just be, like, coatings of ice, but it looks really weird to be in a place that's supposed to be frozen over, but is literally made out of ice. Zelda got away with it because the Sora place was frozen up, yes, but you went into a cave that was, like, icy. You know, it made sense. Thanks for that. Oh, well. Anyway, here's the stupidest clue you can get. What kind of clue is that? Oh, there's a... Oh, whatever. These sprays last a little bit longer than they really need to. I think they activate a lot sooner than they should. Yeah. Like, this is not just making someone do busy work. This is artificially slowing the game down to ridiculous extents. Yeah, you just obstruct the shot. Like, you could have done any, I forgot, we don't get the... Whatever. He's probably there in case you went, like, yeah. That's actually good, that's something they thought about. Because I went here the original time, and I'm like, oh wait, that's there because if you go to the, you get the boots directly, you're, yeah. Probably not gonna have a key to get back out again, yeah. This doesn't look like a plant that grows above, because it looks a lot more like an algae thing, you know? Like a seaweed. Like, this taking so long does not benefit the game in any way, shape, or form, and it just makes me run through the spikes, because I don't want to sit here waiting for those two things to sync up when they have such long periods. Keep things short and snappy. Make the punishment quick, but don't drag it out because you're insecure about it, you know? Like, me getting frozen is going to take the same amount of time whenever you make that spray last an hour or 15 seconds, you know? Gotta think about that kind of stuff when you do your wacky doodle things. Then why is it here? If no one can use it, why did you make it? Is it to make me crazy? The answer is an expedient... Yeah, kinda. Also, all this camera movement isn't required. Why does the camera move? I stand right next to the water. I can see it going down. You don't need to, you know, put the camera on and be like, oh man, look at this happening. The water you're standing right next to is doing something that you can clearly see with your eyeballs. It's like, give me some credit, man. Heck, if I don't see it without the camera focusing on it, I'm probably got bigger things to worry about. Like, the fact that I'm blind. You know? I don't think the boss in this area is too fun either. I don't know, is this guy. Guess what kills him? It's a stupid spell. He gets so prissy about it. I don't give these enemies what they're supposed to be or do or whatever. You know? They're just kind of there. So you can go up there, or you can use the force spell. Because, well, sometimes they give you crap, sometimes they just give you something useful. You just sort of rub cheese all over it. You tried. They're neat, but I don't know. I wonder. What do you want from me? Like, you could have just, like, what is this for? Why? Like, in most Zelda games, they give you clues as to which boxes move or something, and here's just, like, here's a bunch of boxes. Some of them move, some don't. Figure it out, Sherlock. I'm like, really? It's not a puzzle. It's called getting on my nerves. There's a box for your troubles. Learn to live with the fact that all you got for your hard work and effort is a box. That, you could have just made them physical obstacles, like these walls, you know? Then I wouldn't be like, can I move? No. It's, oh, there's only one that moves, and the rest just serves no particular purpose. They're just sort of there, making me angsty. Well, if I wasn't angsty before, I'm sure am now. I think those big guys move very slowly. This part isn't fun. Like this is where spikes are being used properly, you know. They're like a punishment. But there's way too many of them, though. You've got to run through them if you fall in, and it's like, oh, come on, man. You got to do this twice, both ways, and you just kind of get stuck under your shoe like a piece of gum, and it's like, come on. Like, especially considering the way that most controllers and mouse and key are laid out, diagonals are not really problems. You might as well be asking someone to move along several cardinal directions, you know? Can you press buttons and then stop pressing them at the appropriate time? I bet you can't. This puts a lot of focus on this walking cycle, by the way, which isn't great. A regular Explorer Crystal. It's not crap like the other one. It's also not amazing. It's just kind of there. Abracadabra, abracazeus. This was a Zelda game. They'd either not tell you about the man at all, or they would put up a button prompt you have to click away out of. It'd be kind of dumb. Or your buddy of the day shows up and is like, hey, Link, you know that bar you've got on the top right that tells you what your mana is? It's empty. Like, you could just look over and see that the bar is empty, Link, but I figured, you know, send you an RSVP, make a written concern about it, you know, make sure that everyone's on the same page when we are at the next fairy meeting, because, you know, I'm not doing great. Apparently, I don't give practical advice, and most of the tips I give are obvious or just kind of useless, and probably gonna get fired, and, you know, I'm just kind of trying to catch up on lost time, but I don't think it's gonna help all that much. So I was thinking, like, maybe you could, like, write me a referral or something, you know, maybe I could look at someone else. Looking at this new guy, Fee, she looks like someone who knows a thing or two about things. Recommended her. I don't think you'll like her, though, because, for some reason, she keeps reminding everyone about this thing, you know. Why do you use stamina? Again, it's an arbitrary slowdown that serves no practical purpose, and it just pisses me off. Especially because the stamina meter takes a couple of seconds to tick down. It gives this weird artificial sense of slowdown. This is not how you implement stamina. I think this game makes a lot of bad points for it. Like, the soul stamina system worked because every single thing you use stamina for would, like, if you ran, you wouldn't have stamina for battle. Here it doesn't matter, so running might as well be infinite. The jumping usually doesn't take you out of a combat scenario and isn't required to survive, so it's like, you could just not put it in there. Or just make it so that at least there has to be an enemy around or something for it to activate, because it's like always on DRM, you know, and I can just push it without moving. That's good. It's clever. Takes a load off my butt. You know, for a frozen palace, this place isn't exactly friendly. I don't know who would commission this or why, or if it was to help a friend out or something. I sure as heck wouldn't want this place. There's a reason, by the way, why Link gets the pot breaker skill. It's because picking up pots and throwing them is just not as satisfying as making it rain. Treasure boots being an item in the first place, that's not good. So, yeah. What about that Lakers game? I don't like how the top of the chest loads in from the bottom. For one, that seems to be an effect more suited for like Animal Crossing, where like the world rolls over. Here it just feels kind of weird. Let's do the boss. Got a dumb cutscene at the end anyway. This is not a fun boss. I don't like it. At the very least, it's not one of those bosses that's like, use the item to get through, you know? This place looks like a throne room, not a mausoleum. Also, if this guy is dead, why is he sitting upright in a chair? Also, when I said the animations were bad, this is the point where the animations are so bad that you're like, really? Oh, target you want to set on fire. Also, she's naked for no particular reason. One thing I do like is that the way that he moves does seem to imply that not only is he dead, but his staff is probably the thing keeping him alive. Because his head just wobbles around and his staff seems to be the only consistent moving piece. Cursed corpse. That's neat. It's not like zombies, just like, oh, the corpse is cursed. This is what I'm talking about. Oh. Oh. You're a big fat bully. The amount of MP I need and the amount of MP I don't have are starting to overlap a little bit, as well as the amount of times I got frozen. Not like the movie. Also note, this camera does not help. Given the situation we're currently in, the camera needs to be... Can you guess where it needs to be? Not here. I need to see the platforms I'm platforming on. What you want to do is you want to learn over here. You want to go over to one of these things and beepity boppity boop and make magic happen. Also, I should mention this. You can freeze objects for no particular reason, which can effectively mean you run out of magic, and there's nowhere to get it back. You think this would come up during the meeting, but no one seems to have given it any thought at all, like the rest of the game. Also, don't ever make the whole, you gotta shake to kill the ice! That's not fun, it's not cool, and it just makes people break controllers. It's like that stupid Mario trick that they did in Party with the whole, like, hey, you twist your control stick, it's super cool! No, you are making me break my control stick for no other reason than the fact that you couldn't imagine any other better control scheme than making someone break their control stick. Ruining it. In fact, it's already ruined. You just made it worse. Oh, I forgot the whole dodge roll thing that serves no practical purpose ever. I'm not kidding about that. The dodge roll it's not practical, usable. As you can see, it's more of a nuisance because it makes it harder to do stuff. The fact these items can spit out coins is a huge cause for concern. You want to know why that's a huge cause for concern? Because it implies that, you know, this just doesn't work. Just not how you design a boss arena. You've already shown the capacity to make items that specifically drop mana items. Why can't you do the same? You know, it's like, it's a tiny little thing. Shouldn't take a lot of effort, because you already did it. Why does he freeze you when you're close? Probably gonna live through this because he has a little... Oh, no. We did it. Well, it's not a fun boss because of the whole freezing part that just isn't fun. Also, kudos on making the whole stuff go back to normal. Now this place just looks like an earth temple more than a water temple because the whole bluish...
That was not you.
Princess Finn, you are safe.
My tendrils
Do
are
not
moving.
worry for the dead, or they will drag you down to their graves with them. This was not King Angler. His Royal Highness is the King of the Deep Gorge now.
The what?
This young champion saved me. You shall be rewarded.
You can have that big cake over there.
Have anything that is in my power to give.
Then I want your heart!
You need Emblem of Ocean to slay Oceanhorn.
Oceanhorn is a demon that has obsessed our kingdom for the past 1,000 years.
You just couldn't figure it out?
Horrible monster born from the
I like I was implied they have 4 eyes. That's good.
I shall give the Emblem of Ocean to your care, young one.
So,
If you broke the nightmare that bound me for 1,000 years, surely you can defeat this monster.
the fact they call me young one is insulting. Because if you have a culture where people with 1,000 years or something, you could still understand that someone that is clearly of age in their culture is still supposed to be called like an adult. It's kind of rude. Like, I just killed a big thing and you're gonna call me young? I'm mature! Triton! No reference. No related. Man, that sphere your texture is bleeding out over isn't looking so hot. There's a lot of texture cut off. The water flows everywhere, so getting this emblem is kind of OP. The weird part is, we don't kill Oceanhorn in the conventional manners, so... your advice isn't just useless, but also dim. You just want me to get that weapon, so I got the weapon upgrade, because every game has to have one. That's fine with me, like, weapon upgrades are fine. But the fact that someone literally tells me to go get it, not so great. Upgrades are fun when they're, you know, optional. It's like I'm strengthening myself. I'm dedicating time and effort to becoming the best that no one ever was. And When you turn it into a thing that someone tells you to do, it's like, don't tell me what to do, Dad! Yeah, unreliable reflection. Not great. Just a lot of things that could have been improved. It's not a bad game. Like, I complain a lot, but it's because those tiny little things keep poking my fingers. It's like a pinprick. Whee! You shouldn't do that. Ever, 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 ever. That was awful. That's going in my bad memories book. 4 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Good. I think that means I never have to come back once I pick up that dim little art piece and set off into the seas. I think we unlocked a couple of islands while we were busy, so... Yeah, the place is still filled with stuff that tries to kill you. I think that's a major cause for concern. Man, I'm hungry. I'm probably bitter because I'm hungry. We had leftovers today, but the only leftovers there were was the minimal amount of linguine from last night, and that stuff was a creamy sauce that does not last when you turn it into an oven dish. So guess who has rumblies in his tumblies and is not happy about it? Like, I don't have anything else. I don't have any alternatives. I'm just sitting here starving. I could make a sandwich, but now it's too late, and I gotta brush my teeth, and you shouldn't eat before you brush your teeth. I'm just really pissed off. I wanted to go to the snack bar and pick up something to fill myself with, but then I remembered that I don't want to pay for food like that. Not to mention the fact that it would add to my calories. Like, why did she... My biggest problem is that for just no reason at all, she put in cherry tomatoes, those tiny little tomatoes, into an otherwise perfect sauce. It's like they stand out like giant sore thumbs. Like, god damn it, woman, you have no taste. You're like, oh, that's not tasty, but you don't have any taste. You pretend to have taste by eating dishes from exotic countries, but that doesn't mean that you know what makes a good dish. You're such a pedantic person about, like, simple meals. Like, I don't want to eat simple meals because they're kiddie meals. Well, listen, woman, be glad you have the privilege that you can make food that isn't just practical, but darn right delicious, exotic, and fantastic. Like, god damn it, I want to just swat her on the nose. Like the spoiled dog she is. Yeah, being hungry and having a small headache really is ruining my mood. That makes this episode terrible. Everyone is excused from watching this episode. We'll pretend that nothing of significance happened, and that any other references to this episode are to be omitted as canon. We should probably go to Old Fortress first. Maybe we'll go to Scary first. I remember we can actually go and get the swords, so I guess we'll do that. I don't know what's even at Old Fortress. We'll try the rough lands first. Man. I can't. Today was just awful. Like, I beat Grimrock, but other than that, it's not a good day. It's not a great day. It could have been better. It should have been better. I will forever remember this day as awful. There's so many things I want to eat right now, but I can't! Can't sleep with a rumbly tongue. Like, this just looks like algae. It looks like the water settled down lower than it usually does. I don't even know where to find the chocolate sprinkles for my sandwich. Without chocolate sprinkles, what's the point of making a sandwich that isn't supposed to be your dinner? Oh man, I'm just really sad right now. I'm the saddest banana in all the town. And there's nothing you could do about it. What even is it scary? Is it scary? Okay. If these stupid puns don't stop, I'm gonna have to kill myself, because I don't want to live like this. This isn't life. This is a shallow facade of life. I'm doing 160 no scopes. Whoa. Those are the exact same squids we see on land. For some reason, they're really big. I think I might just... You know... You know what part of me really wants to do right now? Is schedule in an extra McDonald's break. Just walk over there a whole long while. There's a better place to do this. There's a place where there's a spike ball on the beach and you can push him in the water really easy. Once I see a save point, I'm calling it quits because I'm done. Too grouchy, I'm not in the mood, my day sucks, I have nothing to eat, I'm clipping into the wall, I'm getting absurdly loud, which is also not good. To see that game save prompt. Well, who knew skeletons were such a big threat to national security? See you guys next time.